Yo, what's up guys? You got I here back again, once again, bringing you another NPL Miners, this time week 10 versus Turbo, post-commentary match and team builder. For those of you who don't know, there actually is a small chance that I make playoffs. I basically have to win this game, and then Jake has to beat John W, and those matches have already happened, so I'll let you know at the end of this video what went down, what were the results of those. But for those of you who haven't seen it, I guess there'll be spoilers, but you know, whatever. So Turbo has a pretty threatening team, as I say it each week. He has Megaladios, Crocodile, Heatran, Superior, Raikou, Z Nihilego, Tapu Fini, Slurpuff, Z Hitmonchan, Z Pinsir, Z Lapras, and Dusknoir. And you already know my team. I have Manaphy, Z Latios, Dugtrio, Mega Arrow, Z Rotom Heat, Cobalion, Accelgor, Donphan, Sneasel, Trevenant, Lanoon, and Mawile. So one of the main threats that I see versus my type of team is Dragon Dance, Mega Latios. Another major threat I see is Tapu Fini, and yeah, those are pretty much the major things I'm concerned with, as well as I guess the Crocodile and to some extent the Heatran. But other than that, I'm not really too concerned with anything else besides maybe like a Belly Drum, Slurpuff if he decides to bring that. But I don't think he will. I think because of the way my team is built upon, I think he'll probably expect me to have coverage for Slurpuff on pretty much everything I have. But regardless, let's just hop right into the right into the team builder actually. So he has a lot of things that are weak to Accelgor's move pool. So that's why I'm bringing in Life Orb this week with Bug Buzz, Hidden Power Ground, obviously for the Heatran, Sludge Bomb for the Slurpuff, and I believe for just the Slurp, and for the Tapu Fini actually, and then Knockoff just in case he wants to switch in like a Scarfer or something along those lines. I'm not sure how well this thing will do this week. It depends on how I play it. I could use it as a lead depending on what exactly he brings. If he doesn't bring the Nihilego, I probably will lead with the Accelgor, mainly because if he does bring Nihilego, I expect maybe like a Sash lead or some variant of that. But yeah, sticky hold so I can't be knocked off from things like Crocodile if it is Scarf. Yeah, so I have enough speed to outspeed max speed Superior, which pretty much outspeeds his entire team. His speed tiers aren't the best, I would say. Actually, his fastest is Raikou, but I don't think he'll bring Raikou, mainly because I have Mega Aerodactyl, which can outspeed it and go for Earthquake, and because I have the Dugtrio. So if he does bring Raikou, then it'll have to be either like a Shucka Berry or Scarf or Air Balloon or something along those lines. So he'll have to prep for that. But I don't really foresee it coming. But yeah, so next up we have Rotom Heat, the Cherry Bomb. This time rocking a Choice Scarf default set. Volt Switch, Overheat, Foul Play. Like I said, I was a bit worried about a physical Mega Latios set, so I decided to bring Choice Scarf Rotom Heat. Now, at +1, Mega Latios Zen Headbutt does not kill Rotom Heat. Neither does Dragon Claw, obviously. Outrage, I believe, has a chance to kill, but regardless, he might consider Rotom Heat to be set up fodder and set up again, which is why I have the Foul Play. And actually at +2, Foul Play does knock out Mega Latios, even if it is extremely bulky. Volt Switch is for momentum, and then Overheat is obviously to hit things like the Superior, if it's not Scarfed, as well as the Crocodile. Defog is something I wanted to bring just because I don't have very many answers to hazards, which is one of the many flaws of my team this season. So I figured I needed to bring Defog just in case he wanted to bring Sticky Web, Slurpuff, or something along those lines. But yeah, next up we have Latios, Mr. Blue Sky with the Calm Mind, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Roost. So I decided to bring a Calm Mind Bolt Beam set this week with Electrium Z. With the Electrium Z, knockoff from Crocodile does not kill even after rocks, which is why I have 88 EVs in health. The rest is dumped into speed, so I can potentially speed tie with Mega Latios, which does come into play in the match, which is kind of funny. But you guys will see about that if you haven't already watched Turbo's video. +1 Ice Beam will kill the Crocodile as long as it's not a bulky invested. +1 Thunderbolt also does a ton to Tapu Fini, and this spread allows me to knock out Tapu Fini, max HP, max defense after rocks with the Electrium Z without a +1. So that's what I have going for me there. Yeah, Roost is just obviously for recovery, so I can Calm Mind potentially on Heatran as long as it doesn't have Toxic or something along those lines, or Nihilego to an extent. But yeah, so next up we have Spirit in the Sky. We have the Mega Aerodactyl. Another kind of last resort Mon in case he does bring like a Calm Mind Mega Latios variant. Crunch does a ton to Mega Latios, which is why I'm rocking that. I believe it kills most of the time after rocks, even if it's like a bulky variant, so that is awesome. Wing Attack is for the Superior, and for the Crocodile, it basically hits a lot of things for neutral. Earthquake is for the Heatran, obviously, and for the Nihilego. But yeah, Crunch also hits Dusknoir, which I don't think he'll bring, but it could be helpful in that scenario. I have enough EVs in health to be able to take a +2 Leaf Storm after rocks, I believe, and knock out Superior with the Wing Attack. Actually, no. I can take... Yeah, that's true, I think. Sorry, guys. I made this team a while ago, but yeah. I know I can take a Flash Cannon if the Heatran is scarfed as well with this spread. Enough speed, outspeed, max speed, Superior. Like I said, I don't think he'll bring Raikou, and if he does, I doubt it'll be max speed. But yeah, so next up we have Athos, the Cobalion with Stealth Rocks, Iron Head, Close Combat, and the Volt Switch with the Shuca Berry. Basically, I don't have any good leads for like a lead Crocodile besides Cobalion or a Accelor, but I didn't want to lead a Accelor because I kind of wanted it. I kind of want to save this in the back to clean up if I need it to. But yeah, so that's why I have Shuca Berry. Close Combat, I believe, will kill at all times if I'm not intimidated on the Crocodile, so that is why I'm rocking 56 Adamant. Stealth Rock is for the... It's just for rocks, really, for hazards. Iron Head will bring Lego down to its stash, so that's why I'm rocking that. And Volt Switch is obviously for the momentum. And then last but not least, we got Lanoon with the Belly Drum, Extreme Speed, Shadow Claw, Stopping Tantrum, enough speed, outspeed, max speed, Heatran. Rest up into attack. And then the EVs are made so after Belly Drum, I will get back up to full with the Figgy Berry because of the Gluttony. But yeah, also... Another side note is Rotom Heat does outspeed Scarf Heatran, which is why I'm rocking that amount of EVs. But yeah, let's just hop right into the match. So I realized that I didn't actually have the replay open, so if you'll just humor me 1 second while I try and find it. Real quick, replays. Again, apologies guys for this, but yeah, so he's rocking a pretty threatening team of Mega Latios, Nihilego, Superior, Crocodile, Heatran, Tapu Fini, basically bringing a bunch of the rest I thought he'd bring, was hoping he would bring, but yeah, so I'm just going to lead Cobalion. I figured that should be my lead regardless of what he does. Yeah, so he turns out to bring Nihilego. Oh, something I forgot to mention in the team builder. Cobalion is set to outspeed max speed Crocodile, not max speed Nihilego. So that's something to note, which is why he outspeeds. But again, that's not going to really come into play too much. He leads Nihilego, which makes me think that he's probably a Sash lead, trying to get either Toxic Spikes or the Stealth Rock. So I just go for Iron Head, bring it down to its Sash. And now, because he's okay, so there's no way he's bringing in Crocodile, right? And I could get Rocks up this turn, but I'd rather Rocks be off my side of the field than anything else, and I only have a defogger, so there's really no point in me getting rocks up at this point in the match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to volt switch out. Like I said, there's no way he's going crook in that scenario, so I volt switch out and I go out into the row to meet, because like I said, I really need these rocks off the field. As he goes into Tapu Fini, I know I can take a surf as long as he's not invested, so I go for the defog. And I get rid of the rocks, which is fantastic for me because rocks really destroy my team. So he goes for the surf, and as you can see, I do live that. But like I said in the team builder, I am scarfed, and I do not want to stay in, obviously. So I go into Athos. I go into Cobalion here, as he goes for the Moonblast. Doesn't do too much. Basically, Athos wasn't looking too important this match. All I really wanted to do with Cobalion was get a rocks to break any stashes he could potentially have or see if another mon is like a leftovers variant or something along those lines. Again, I will outspeed the Tapu Fini, so I go for rocks, and if he reveals defog, then so be it. He'll have to waste a turn doing that, as now he gets a special attack drop. Again, doesn't matter. I'm not planning on volt switching out. Cobalion is pretty much the least useful member on my team at this moment. Superior can kill with Leaf Storm, Latios outspeeds, and Cobalion can't break through it. It can beat Crook and Heatran as long as neither are Scarf, but other than that, really no point in keeping this alive. I go for the Iron Head just to get some damage off, maybe see how much EVs he invested in defense. But yeah, as you can see that there's nothing, no flinch either, so that's unfortunate, but he kills Cobalion. As now I see this as an opportune time to bring in the Lanoon, and if he does not have the Haze, then Lanoon pretty much wins the game just right here. So I go for the Belly Drum, as he does reveal the Haze, so that's good prep on his part. Now Lanoon is kind of useless. I'm gonna Belly Drum again on the off chance he doesn't Haze. Moonblast and Surf has a chance to kill from this range anyway, so it's kind of like a last ditch effort in case. It was like a mid-roll to kill the Lanoon at this point, but, you know, I didn't really have any other play. Extreme Speed doesn't do much to this thing, neither does any of my other attacks, so now I'm just going to Extreme Speed. But what this does do is it puts Tapu Fini in range of the Electrium Z from Latios, and at this point in the match, I doubt he'll switch into Crocodile as like a way to scout for the Electrium Z. But regardless, I go for it, and Tapu Fini just drops, which is fantastic for me because that was one of the major threats that walled Aerodactyl. So now he goes into Heatran, and I'm thinking he probably has the Toxic, but there's not really much I can do at this point, so I just start Calm Minding, as he actually reveals to be Scarfed, which kind of surprised me. But now after Calm Mind, I can take Flash Cannons for days, and now I can Roost Up, and what's fantastic about this is now my Ice Beam will kill a Crocodile 100% of the time, as long as it's not a Spadef variant. So I go for the Ice Beam, as he reveals not to be Scarf Crocodile, which is fantastic for me, because now that thing is out of the way, and Aerodactyl is looking fantastic this match. So now he goes into Mega Latios, and he wins the first speed tie, and okay. So what's interesting about this is how I played it and how he played it. Now, in the chat, so Turbo was on mobile while he was playing this game, but in the chat, I basically said, hang on, it'll come up in a bit, but I basically said that that there was a speed tie between both of us. Now Turbo didn't see this, right? But he wins the first speed tie, I believe, and he wins the second, right? He also wins the third. Now, if I had gotten 2 in a row speed ties or something along those lines, or 1 speed tie, I would have beaten Latios by now. But then he wins the 4th. And at this point, there it is, speed tie wars. At this point, he's like, okay, I definitely outspeed my Latios. So he gets overconfident, and he starts roosting up, and he starts Calm Minding up repeatedly. So he wins like 6 speed ties in a row, which is insane. But then I win the 7th on a turn that mattered, and that was just crazy how many speed ties he won in a row. Like, again, if I had gotten one lucky speed tie, Mega Latios would already been dead. But regardless, I thought that was pretty humorous. If my Latios went down, then I had Aerodactyl's Crunch to pretty much kill, so I wasn't too worried. Even if my Latios did go down, all I needed was some damage on his Mega Latios to win with Aerodactyl. So that's the whole point behind that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But now he goes into Superior, and I'm like, let's see what he has for Latios. He has Dragon Pulse, which is fine. Ice Beam will be able to kill it. So the only way he could have potentially come back from that was if he was Scarf Superior as well, which I found out he was. But again, he would have had to hit a couple of Leaf Storms, and he would have had to get some crits in order to win the game with that. Now Heat Train comes out. I know he's Scarfed, so I'm just going to Roost up one more time, and then I'm going to try and kill with the Thunderbolt. I can live 2 now, unless he crits me, which he does. But that is completely fine. So now he kills me with the Flash Cannon because he crit me the first time. And now, pretty much the only way he can win is through critting a Cellgore, critting Aerodactyl, and killing Rotom. But if he does... Okay, so here's the play for me. So, if he does kill a Cellgore at this point with a crit, then my play is to always go into Rotom Heat because I am Scarfed, and Volt Switch is a 2-hit KO on the Heatran. So I will Volt Switch an Aerodactyl, sack that thing off. Again, I don't want to risk a crit. This game is too important. It determines whether I make playoffs, potentially. So I go into Cellgore here, and I live. He doesn't crit me there, and as I go for the Hidden Power Ground, killing the Heatran, and that is a good game to Turbo. Again, those speed ties were pretty funny. If he had been paying attention to the chat on mobile, I'm not sure if he would have thought I was like just messing around or bluffing, but again, I wasn't too worried. Even if I lost Latios, I still had Aerodactyl to pretty much help me clean up in the back. But regardless, definitely a good game to Turbo. I believe he makes playoffs anyway, so this match didn't really matter for him. Of course, it mattered for me a lot, but I'm gonna give you guys about 5 seconds before I tell you the results of the John W versus Jake match. So, just... Alright, so if you're still here, basically John W ended up taking the win versus Jake. So, unfortunately, you guys, I am out of playoffs. We almost had a good comeback run. Like, midway through the match, I didn't think I was going to make playoffs, mainly because of some hacksy matches that I had in the beginning that kind of threw me off course. Again, once I got, like, a Cellgore and Mawile, things started coming up a bit. But I think, for what it's worth, I think we did fantastic coming back and at least bringing the record to 5-5 with a positive differential. So, I think we definitely did a good job of that. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching my NPL Minors Season 5 run. So, yeah, stay tuned for more Hive content and potentially more NPL matches in the future. But yeah, peace.